opportunity to give you a mind lecture. Actually, my today's mind lecture is about the world of the heart. And before I start explaining about it, actually our heart is like a river. Also, there is a way of how our heart flows. A lot of people, our heart doesn't like difficulties. That's why we just like living in our own flesh. So today I will be specific on about the never judge a book by its cover, and I will tell you first a story. The son who misunderstood the heart of his mother, the son who misunderstood the heart of his mother. So this son, he was a soldier who was working who was fighting at the war between North Korea and South Korea. So actually during this war, this son, a lot of American soldiers died, but he was successful that he was alive. So one day he decided to go back home, and he decided to call to his mother and tell his mother that I'm coming back home. But while he was calling to his mother lives in Los Angeles. His mother was very thankful and very happy because his son is coming home. So while they were during that conversation, the mother asked the son when he will come back home, but the son already told him that I'm here at the airport already, so I'm just about to arrive home. So while they were on the conversation, the son told the mother that actually right now I have a friend of mine that I would like to come with him over. But this friend of mine, he doesn't have one arm, he doesn't have a leg, he doesn't have an eye. So because of this, during the war, he stepped on the landmine, and through these circumstances, he was able to sustain these injuries. So this is what this son told to his mother. So his mother told him, it's okay, you can come with your friend, but he will just live only 1 week. But this son told the mother that, no, I have to live with my friend forever, because his situation, the condition that he is right now in, he needs a lot of care and a lot of assistance. So, mother, please help me so that I can live with him throughout. But the mother said, no, if it's like that, okay, you'll have just to come, but stay with him 1 week. So the son and the mother, they had this misunderstanding. But later, the son said, it's okay, mother, I will come. But mother, before the mother hung up the phone, the son told the mother that, mother, please take care of yourself. And later, she hung up the phone. So this mother, her mother was very happy. Her mother was very happy because his son was coming home, and he was coming home alive. So according to the mother's heart, the son was like very precious to him. That's why he prepared a lot of delicious food to him. She prepared a lot of delicious food to him. She made his room look tidy. So during that time, at around 8 o'clock, he was expecting his son to come. But actually, the son never came. She waited and waited for hours. But unfortunately, the son never came. So after waiting for that hour, at around 1 o'clock, she had phone call. So she wondered, how comes my son is calling me and yet he was supposed to come back home? So when she received the phone call, it was a voice of a stranger. And the stranger was the police officer. So the police officer asked the mother, are you John's mother? The mother said, yes, I'm John's mother. What has happened to my son? And the police officer said that your son actually committed suicide, and he fell from the hotel room roof, so he died on the spot. Right now, you should come quickly to the hospital so that you can check on him. So his mother's heart felt a lot of disbelief, and that's why she went as quickly as she could up to the hospital. And when she arrived at the hospital, she got his son lying dead on the bed. Why? Because while she was opening the white sheet, she couldn't believe her her eyes. She saw his son was the one who was missing one eye. He never had an arm, and he never also had legs. So his mother felt a lot of sorry. She really cried and she wondered why my son could do this to me. Why my son didn't tell me about the condition that he was in. While John, he was actually coming from the airport, from the plane, when he was on the plane, he thought to himself that actually right now I have a lot of difficulties. I don't have a leg, I don't have an arm, I don't have an eye. How will I survive? How will my friends look at me? How will even my girlfriend look at me? But according to his heart, he thought that everybody can despise me except my mom. So that's why he decided to call his mom. But through calling his mother, he decided to hide his heart. He never said the true identity of the condition that he was having. So through this, and through the heart of the mother, the words that the son received from the mother made him look very uncomfortable. That's why he said, even my own mother, when I go back home, she thinks that I'm burdensome to her. So there is no meaningful time for me to live. It's better I just commit suicide. And that's why the son committed suicide. So what does it tell us? John, he never understood his mother's heart. So through this, John just believed in himself. He just saw others according to his sight. But actually, his mother was ready to help him. His mother was ready to give him everything. His mother was ready to give him an arm, leg. He was ready to give him his sight. But because John had this different thought towards his mother, that's why he was able later, he ended up committing suicide. So when does conflict arise? In this world, conflicts arise because we do not know each other's hearts. You can tell immediately just by looking at a person, but there is no one who can see the heart. And people become happy when they share their hearts together, but when your hearts do not flow together, we become miserable. If you try to share your problem with other person, you'll become happy in life. But if you close your heart, you'll never have a happy life, because inside your heart it will just be burdensome and you will live an unsuccessful life. So next, I would like to tell you, you watch this movie. Kindly please watch this movie keenly. Yes, yes. Actually, this poor beggar, the one who's sleeping here, he used to sleep in front of this man's, in front of this shopkeeper's house, in front of this shopkeeper's shop every day. But every day, the moment this shopkeeper would come and open the shop, he will find him sleeping there, and instead he will end up mistreating him and chasing him away. But this shopkeeper, he never wanted to listen anything that came from this beggar's heart. That's why he just kept on mistreating him day by day and day by day. Even one day, when he was opening his shop, he felt some pissed smell, but according to his thought, he just thought because he's a beggar, he can just do anything. That's why in his thought, he thought that it's the beggar who had pissed in front of his shop. But actually, he later came and realized that this beggar actually used to help him. This beggar actually used to clean his shop outside, used to protect his shop. This beggar was like a protector. But according to this shopkeeper's thought, he just thought he's a beggar. A beggar cannot help me with anything. So what does this story teaches us about? This story teaches us that that person who is seated next to you, that person who is standing in front of you, you should not despise that person. Even though you might see this person is ugly, beautiful, doesn't have good posture, this person may be poor, like this beggar, but actually you don't have to judge that person. You can judge person just by looking at your own side, but actually you don't know what is inside that person's heart. That person that you are judging right now, that person, the outside part of him might be uncomfortable to you, but actually according to, if you look deep inside the heart of that person, it is that person has a very comfortable life. Why? Because maybe this person, you might have a problem, but because you've just kept on judging this person, but because you've just kept on judging this person, you will end up not believing in that person. That's why you just end up believing in your own side. And through this, you will end up regretting in life. So you have not to judge that person that is seated next to you. That person who is very close to you, always appreciate that person. So this also symbolizes in the book of Mark chapter 12 verse 1 to 12. The poor farmer that meets the owner of the vineyard. Do you know this story?
Yes.
Okay, actually, there was this vineyard and there was a rich man. This rich man, he had a very big plantation of the vineyard. So that's why, and there was one poor farmer who was working inside. So this poor farmer, he used to toil so hard, he used to do his very best, but actually he was never satisfied of what he was getting because he was supposed to take care of his family. So that's why one day the owner of the vineyard wanted somebody to come and take care of the vineyard. So that's why he remembered this poor farmer. And later he called him and told him, I've seen you toiling so hard, I've seen you working so hard in order you help your family, but right now I want to bless you. So through this opportunity, I'm giving you like grace to you. So right now, I will go to a far country, and through this opportunity, I want you to work in my vineyard. Everything will be yours, and keep all the profit that you have harvested by yourself and help your family. But the only thing that I would want from you is you give me the rent that you have. So this farmer, he did his best. He worked so hard. The vineyard produced a lot of grapes. A lot of people, they were happy of what he was doing. So this farmer began to have another thought. There before, he had a very humble heart. He used to have a very thankful heart, but because of what he had done, he started having different thoughts. So he started believing in himself. He started judging others strongly. Even the servants at that vineyard, they were surprised. How come this poor farmer is treating us like this, but the owner of this vineyard, he has never treated us like this? So one day, the owner of the vineyard sent a servant, one of the servants, to come to this farmer to take the rent as he was told. But this poor farmer thought to himself, how comes the master is sending the servant to come and pick the rent? Why doesn't he come by himself to pick the rent? So, because of how he was judging that servant wrongly, because of how he was judging that master, couldn't believe what that master was saying. So he decided to chase this servant away. So again, the master, I think he became somehow upset. So he decided to send another servant to go and pick the rent. The same thing that this poor farmer said to the first servant, the same thing he told to this second servant. So, and he ended up, him and his wicked tenants, he ended up chasing this second servant away. So the master thought that if I send my son to go and bring the rent, at least they will feel a lot of tensions in their heart because he's my son, the son of the master. So they will quickly give him the rent. But actually, when this son came, the wicked tenants and this poor farmer, they started talking that this master, what does he think about us? Huh? He thinks that we are that poor so that he will send his own heir to come here and pick the rent. Actually, let's do this. We will kill him, and after we kill him, we shall receive the inheritance and we shall be rich. So this poor farmer decided to finally kill this son. So later this poor farmer regretted in life because he had received the grace from this master. It's like he never appreciated this master. This master just gave him a simple thing to do, but because of believing in himself, because he thought that he's very comfortable, like he's the best among others, that is harvesting a lot of grapes, a lot of people that are coming to buy grapes from him. That's why he started judging others wrongly. According to his side, everybody was just worthless, because he thought according to himself, I'm the best farmer in this world. But through this time, he later ended up regretting. Why? Because he judged other people. He judged the other people who were surrounding him. So, what does this symbolize also in our life? When we know about the world of the heart, Satan can't deceive us. This poor farmer, he never had that thought that one day he will end up being like this. But because he's following his own thoughts, that's why Satan decided to deceive his heart. But actually, if this poor servant could have known about the word of the heart, Satan couldn't have deceived him. So, when you know about this, the evil spirit can't deceive you. And if you comfort others, a happy life will unfold once you are freed from this. Remember, a problem shared is one solved, and don't let pride overtake you. As you saw the 3 stories that I've explained to you, everything is just like all the stories is like all the people had difficulties. But because the difficulties, they were just hiding inside their heart, that's why their pride, they were just having pride of themselves, and that's why pride later overtook them and they later regretted that in life. So we should not judge a book by its cover. Don't despise another person's nature. As I told you, don't despise that person who is next to you, in front of you. Don't despise anyone, because we are all created from the image and likeness of God. And I would like to summarize and say, if we judge others according to our own sight, our thoughts, we shall just have negative thoughts, invisible sights, and darkness hearts towards others. But if we actually know about this, the word of the heart, we shall know how to protect other people, we shall know how to understand other people's hearts, and we shall stop judging other people. Thank you for listening.